Welcome to the Synthetic Warehouse. This is a continuation of our Amsoil product overview series. You can also find our products at oilordering.com or syntheticwarehouse.com, and I'll flash some links here as we go along. The main one, though, that you'd like to check out, if you go to oilordering.com, just look up your vehicle information, and you can pull up all the proper Amsoil fluids and oil filters for any vehicle, motorcycle, ATV, UTV, or boat. It's all listed on there now. I think they even got sleds on there. But today we're going to talk about the transmission fluids, the automatic transmission fluids. First, let's go over the selection. And while this isn't a automatic transmission fluid, it is the flush, which you can use to put into the transmission and follow the procedure, run it through there, and then drain completely. We do have a PDF online where you can see how to do it yourself, using the line that goes to the oil cooler to remove all the fluid completely as you're putting new in. So that's the flush. Let's jump to the Supershift. It's our racing fluid, very popular. Non-slip racing transmission fluid, as you can see there. A lot of people do add it to automatic transmission fluid to take out more of the slip. It does increase temperatures. Per Amsoil, it's not recommended, but people do it anyway. They do see an extra mile per gallon, but those type of things are at your own risk. I just want to mention it because it seems to be a popular thing that people do. Also, the CVT transmission fluid, which is another popular one for all the new CVT transmissions. It does allow for longer life of belts and chains. Let's see, it takes out the slipping, optimum performance, maximum transmission life. And of course, we've got our legendary ATF, automatic transmission fluid, the multi-vehicle. And then we have the new fuel efficient, which previously we called it the low viscosity. So your transmission will fall between one of these two categories. A lot of newer GM vehicles can still use the old, but Chevrolet, for example, updated the Dextron 3 to higher standards, which this meets. If you go to amsoil.com, any of the products, there's a data sheet, a PDF that you can pull up that will list, all the applications, and there are a number of specifications that these meet. Get that out of the light there. And of course here, there's over 60 or 70 different specific applications. You can also find that on the back of the bottles. Again, they're listed there. And on the back of the low viscosity, or the fuel efficient, which is becoming more and more popular. All the products are also available in these 2.5 gallon sizes, or twin packs, for better savings, easier shipping. Of course, we have the gallon sizes, which are the most popular size that I sell. There's the 4-gallon case, which is probably the best way to order it. And then the 12-quart case. And then, of course, we keep the singles up on the top shelf here, so we can send you any number of quarts, gallons, or 2.5s, no matter what you have. The biggest draw to the automatic transmission fluids, oops, I didn't have that focused. The largest draw that we have is its ability to ward off transmission failures. There's a number of failures that occur, whether under warranty or not, over time. Sluggishness, and also just simply if you're pulling loads, you're pulling a trailer, a camper, or boats up and down mountains, why not use a transmission fluid that's going to drop those temperatures 50 degrees? It makes a lot of sense. And instead of heat, it's turning into power, so there's better fuel economy. They're compatible with any other fluid out there, so you don't have to do a full drain. In fact, most of our customers use this as an additive. They'll drain and just add 3 or 4 quarts, go back a month later or 3 months later and do it again until they flushed out the whole system. One testimonial of mine, I've got a really good Toyota one, but I've got also a 57 Studebaker that uses Type A. It sat for 10 years before I got the car, and when I got it running, I did the engine, I didn't touch the transmission. You put it into drive, and there was a 3-second delay before the power transferred through the transmission to the wheels. All I did was, using a pump I pulled out 3 quarts, put 3 quarts of the ATF in, and all that power came back. And after I got the thing heated up and mixed through, I did it again, and I haven't had trouble with that transmission since. We also have a local transmission shop here, J. Aggie Transmissions. I think their first experience with Amsoil, they pulled a transmission apart. It had a mechanical failure because it was high mileage, but they noticed that everything was clean and the condition of all the parts inside were relatively like new. And they asked the owner, "What did you do?" And he said, "Nothing, I just used Amsoil." So just like our findings with this taxi cab study, I'll segue into that. This 2014 Las Vegas taxi cab field study, we featured our 0W20, which Ford calls for. And we also had the Amsoil ATF. If you look in here, 180,000 miles. That's the overview on this test. Just show you some pictures briefly. There's the valve body after 180,000 miles. You can see everything just looks like brand new. The fluid itself, on a scale of 1 to 10, the normal rating is like a 5. With the Amsoil product, it was a 9.8. We see that with our small engine oil too, and small motors, Briggs and Stratton and such. Pan and suction screen like new. The clutch plates, which transfers your friction. No slippage. The stamp is still available. They look like new. This is, again, Las Vegas cab, stop and go, and so forth. We also have this is the most important part. This is a comparison of frictional properties between new and used Signature Series. And the upper line is after 183,000 miles or 12,000 hours of driving. It only slightly thickened. And typically, if you go online, you can read more about this. Typically, you'll see these actually decrease and drop off the scale, or thicken and rise above the scale. Again, 183,000 miles. And then the rest of the document is on the engine side. You can look that up. All you got to do is go on the internet, Amsoil.com or oilordering.com, or just give us a call. We can email it to you. I'll give you my number on the screen. But anyway, there's the G3118 is the product code, the 3118. So we get plenty of testimonials. We have a lot of Toyota customers that will they have like a factory fill OEM transmission fluid, and they'll switch to ours and notice before they switch, it gets sluggish. And they switch to ours, and not only did they get the frictional capabilities back, but they notice their fuel economy goes up. And that's the blue one, the fuel efficiency meets Toyota WS. Real quick, I'll jump over to our OE product. It's basically, the same categories that the Signature Series is going to meet, but we do have a product that was developed for installers. A lot of customers will use this on an older car that they're going to sell or something. They still want to use something quality, but it's OEM product, so it's not going to go 100,000 miles, but it's going to match your OEM interval. And it was developed for the needs of the installer market. Drivers who go to installers have little knowledge of transmission fluid, so it's difficult for installers to upsell the benefits using our Signature Series. That's for people that are watching this video. But if you own a shop, this is a profitable product. It's about $3 less a quart, and it allows you to compete with other transmission fluids. And if you own, say, a European shop, you don't have to carry 5 or 6 different transmission fluids. Pretty much one of these is going to cover all your specifications. So you save on inventory ordering, and just simplifies things. Both of them, though, will still offer benefits to your OEM performance. And cold weather performance, too. Either one of these, you're not going to have the cold weather sluggishness that happens when you first start the car until the transmission warms up. It's going to flow because it's a non-waxy synthetic product. One last thing I did want to cover is this was kind of a free advertisement we got out of Lubes and Greases magazine. This was the Portland Longshoreman. They have, let me switch this phone, there we go. 530 pieces of equipment in their fleet. 17 different classifications underneath that shop's care. Well, anyway, they were having significant failures. Let's go to that. Again, I'll just read this if you can't see it. It says service life was about 18,000 hours of certain Allison transmissions. Their testing showed that some, generating a large amount of particles, which increased wear, and others virtually nothing. We tried a number of fixes, including different filters and oils. Nothing worked. The problem was compounded. Blah, 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 blah. So they tried several different fluids, and it wasn't until they tried our best Amsoil PAO base stock synthetic. You're not going to get that with other brands, by the way. They haven't lost a transmission yet, and that was done via the OEM warranty, and they ended up not having to have downtime. Save that. Just think of the money right there, the lack of downtime. So if you've got an a 50s, a 60s, 70s, 80s, even brand new vehicle that you want it to last, or using it, you've got it in service, you're pulling boats, let's say you got an RV, a travel trailer, this is the smart product to buy. Change it out once, eliminate the problems that happen with automatic transmission fluids. Watch your mileage, pair that up with our Amsoil synthetic products, which we've got a whole store full here. Call us anytime at 800-579-0580. And again, thanks for visiting us, Synthetic Warehouse, and oilordering.com. Any questions, I'd be more than glad to help you. Thank you.